How do you feel? Feel good? I think we nailed it.
I think we got it pretty down pat. I mean, I nailed it. You had something screwed up there.
Hey,
but
you know what? Look, cares.
Hit it.
Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. My name is Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And we are continuing our divisional series review. We have now moved into the National League. Chris, I can't wait. There's a lot of teams I want to talk about. Most importantly, the Atlanta Braves, which I am repping.
That's not the episode we're on right now.
It's not, but I can't wait to talk about the Braves.
Okay.
I know it's not, but I'm just letting you know.
You made me go first, and then you get to go last.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's some poppycock, if you will.
Poppycock. All right, so you're going to use that terrible language on this?
Yeah,
on this
already.
show?
You can bleep it
This
out.
is for families, man.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
All right, so at the top, if you've been listening all week, one, thank you so much. Two, as a reminder, please do not harass anyone that gives us their opinion today. We are lucky enough to talk to friends, coworkers, podcasters we look up to as far as giving us their opinion on their teams. It's a fun back and forth that we're going to respond to. And, just be nice unless they're mean to you. Then you can be mean back.
Haven't seen anything like that yet, though. So everything's good. Everything's kosher. So to this point, we've released two. If you're listening to this now, you would have already heard the AL East as well. So our AL would have wrapped up.
Well, say it's three technically because time doesn't count in the podcast.
Yeah,
so.
It's not even like we're recording. It's like we're talking tomorrow. We're talking like 5 days in the past. Like we're all fucked up here,
man.
With that said,
all right.
How about we get into the NL West?
That sounds good. Let's do the NL West. So, Chris,
today, instead of the randomizer, I made a little wheel. Yeah, there's
wheel?
Yeah,
okay.
there's
Does
a wheel.
Does that have sound effects?
It does, but I don't know. Do you want me to put
Yeah.
Hang
Put
on.
it up to the mic. See
Hang
how
on,
well we
hang
can
on.
get it because I think this is great podcasting.
Let's see what we can do here. Ready? Here
Okay.
goes the wheel.
Okay.
NL West.
All right.
It's gonna make a noise now too.
I mean, I'm in.
All right.
I'm in. All right. We'll see if that actually got picked up on the mic.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna try it every time. We got the San Francisco Giants.
Okay, so guys, there are two teams we just could not seem to get opinions
For the life
on.
of us.
Chris harassed everyone. We were calling friends. We were having our friends call their friends, their acquaintances. It got weird. And the San Francisco Giants are one of them. So unfortunately, we do not have a fan reaction. So we would love to hear from you guys via Twitter or X, which is what it's called now, or Instagram, whatever. You can leave us a review with your Giants review on Spotify or Apple or Amazon, however you're listening to us. So let's just jump into the Giants. All right, so Chris, I have the Giants. Oh, no, we both have the Giants finishing third in their division.
Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to look at this because I'm an asshole.
Right.
But I think my opinion's going to change as of 24 hours ago.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because we got lucky enough to have a little trade in the division. Everybody knows what it is if you're listening. But I think I'm going to drop them to 4. So they're going to be 4th for me.
Man, you know what?
Everything else is staying the same.
I think it's tough. So I had these two neck and neck already. But the more I looked into the Giants, the more I'm like, okay, I felt comfortable with it. Obviously, the Padres adding Dylan Cease makes them better. Yeah, that's tough. I'm back and forth. I'm going to stick with it, though. I'm going to change the over-under for the Padres, but I'm going to stick with the Giants still finishing third.
So you got them third. I'll have them 4th.
Okay.
So let's do just, unfortunately, we're a little out of whack because, we're not mad at Giants fans. It just was unsuccessful.
Yep.
I'm still mad at Royals fans for what
absolutely.
they did to us.
How dare you?
But so just a quick, we'll do our own little thing on the Giants and then we'll get into our picks. Again, we're going to go from the readings of Chris here.
Great.
My first sentence, I can't tell and I don't know what to do with them. Mm-hmm. And they got they made additions. They got Matt Chapman. They got Jorge Soler, Jung Ho Lee.
Jung Ho Lee's a big deal.
So good additions over the offseason. They still have Michael Conforto. I don't know how you feel about him. Mike Yastrzemski, Lamont Wade. Lineup's decent, good, not great. They made some strides and got better in terms of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
The big question is, does Luciano come up and play? Mm-hmm. He's had a horrendous spring.
Yeah, whatever.
And,
spring training.
Because I've been trying to reach out to all these people, I've had to follow them and see what they all have to say. So I don't think a lot of them believe that Luciano is going to be either starting or even make the opening day roster. I may have misinterpreted that. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to start for who. I'm not really sure. I haven't dug that deep into it. I was hoping to get a review so somebody could tell me. But guess what? We didn't get there. And then pitching. Mm-hmm. Prior to the cease, I wrote they have similar pitching concerns as the Padres.
Yes,
and that was how deep can they go?
Right.
They have Logan Webb, top 5,
great pitcher,
arm in the NL. Probably get Cy Young votes. Did get Cy Young votes last year. I love Kyle Harrison, lefty youngster. Mm-hmm. He'll probably end up being their 2 starter. And then it's a lot of I don't knows. They have Robbie Ray.
Some also rains.
Like Robbie Ray's coming back at some point.
Here's the deal. The Giants seem to always figure it out from a pitching standpoint when it comes to getting starters that can get them innings, right?
Correct.
Harrison is a good version of that. And hate to cut you off, but I think that the Giants.
Yeah, you're not mad.
I'm not mad. It's fun. I think that the Giants have 3. Well, I mean, I guess Luciano's not had a great spring training, but I do think Harrison, Jung Ho Lee, and Luciano all could be Rookie of the Year candidates if they have good seasons. So the Giants have the pieces to be good if they're consistent. But that's going to be the big problem. That's going to be the big question mark. But I'm with you. I think Harrison looks great. I think he's going to be. A really big deal in the majors in a few years. If he breaks out this season, that makes the Giants that much better. But again, the Giants are just one of those teams. They're like the Rays of the National League. I don't understand how it works, but they figure it out. So
yeah, and again, even before, it's like they're gonna hover around like 80 to 83 wins. Mm-hmm. Like none of those numbers surprise me at all.
Right.
So with that said, I took over 81.5.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think
I did too.
Again, to your point of they just figure it out. Do I just have an odd blind faith in the Giants' pitching development? And it's just like
you have to, yeah.
And
to get to 80
I would say
wins,
they haven't maybe say developed a stud recently.
Right.
Yes, Kyle Harrison,
yeah,
absolutely.
Stud, yeah.
But then they added Alex Cobb. Alex Cobb is just an innings eater. He might be out for a little bit, but again, they're going to add Robbie Ray. That's not, again, that whole we made a deal at the deadline type thing, but didn't really because he was just hurt. And I haven't mentioned him. I'm going to because he's who I believe is breakout player. But I'll let you tell me what you were doing over under wise.
Yeah. So over under, I have him over 81.5. Here's the deal: the Dodgers are obviously going to win this division, but you've got 3 teams under them that are all going to win like 80 to high 80, maybe even in the 90s. We'll get to that. But the Padres, the D-backs, and the Giants all are going to win 80 plus. And so I definitely think that they're going to be over that, especially if they're going to finish 3rd.
I'm with you. I have them 4th, but again, there's room for everybody to kind of have 80 wins in this division.
Absolutely.
So I don't think anything's far-fetched. It's just that's where you're going to be, and I still have them over. So it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just you're going to end up 4th because I think
this is the division that someone's going to finish not at the top of their division, and they're still not going to make the playoffs, even though their record's better than whoever wins the Central.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's potentially 2 teams that could have a better record than whoever wins the Central and not make the playoffs.
No, spot on, and it sucks.
Yeah,
everybody's gonna call for playoff systems to be changed
again
and all that type of stuff. But that's all I really got on the Giants. Again, it does help, to be honest, to have these the little reviews, get a little quirks, get a little insights.
Yeah.
So if we did miss something, and you think so,
we definitely missed something.
But who I didn't miss in my breakout though is Jordan Hicks.
Okay,
and again, one of those I have no idea what to think, but I like him. His stuff's
could be
electric.
great. Yeah.
He's going to try to be a starter. It's probably going to take him a month or two to get fully stretched out. Maybe not. Maybe he's ready he's going to be in the rotation, but I guess I'm just saying I don't know if he's going to be able to give you 6. He might be giving you 4. Maybe you're lucky if you get 5 for the first couple runarounds through the rotation there. But I think he's worth taking a stab at. If we want to talk quick fantasy baseball, take a stab at the guy. Yep. What the hell? I think he could be a legitimate starter for them, and if he turns out well, that changes the whole outlook of the team.
Completely agree.
Because now you have your legitimate number 3 Sands, Robbie Ray, and Alex Cobb.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't go pitcher. I actually went Jung Ho Lee. I think he's going to come in and just immediately be a corner piece for that team. Obviously, he'll be an older rookie, like a lot of the folks coming over from Japan are, because I think he's 25. So he's got experience. I don't think he's going to struggle at all. He's going to come in, he's going to play, and he's going to play well. So I think he's going to have quite a year. Maybe not Ichiro level, but I do think he has potential to be the next.
Dare.
I didn't say it, Chris. Okay. I'm just saying I feel like he has potential to be in the conversation almost.
I still don't like it. But
okay,
he could be a good player. That's fine. Leave Ichiro's name out of your mouth.
I know. I'm sorry. But so my player prop, by the way, I think Webb's great. I don't think he's going to get 170 and a half Ks, so I have him on the under on that. I think he sits around 160 normally. Like last year was his best year when it comes to strikeouts, so I just don't think – I think 170 is too much. I mean, he's a great pitcher, obviously, lots of ground balls, but I just don't think I don't think he gets those Ks.
Okay, you're saying it's a fluke high year. He had 194 last year.
Yeah, fluke high year, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. That's fine. Rip him apart. I've got Kyle Harrison over 148 and a half Ks. Ooh. And there's no real I have nothing to really support that to back that up, right? Because he really didn't throw a ton. But he's a high strikeout guy. He does have some control concerns. So that could
like
be a
all
problem.
Rookies.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of went even last year. He had 35 strikeouts in 34 innings.
Yeah.
So I think I wrote, I'm not even looking at it. I'm making it up. If he gives me 150 innings, he gets 150 strikeouts.
Yeah, okay. I got you. Yeah.
150 is a big ask, though.
Yeah. I mean, it is a big ask, especially for a younger arm. But, I mean, someone has to step up there. So, I don't mind it. All right.
I don't love it.
So, Giants. Giants are done. So, let's spin that wheel again, Chris, and see what we end up with next.
All right, here we go.
All right.
All right. We have the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Ugh. The Dodgers. All right. Chris, who do we have for the Dodgers?
We have our good friend Michael. He can be found at Michael EFC _ on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But here's Michael.
All right, let's listen.
Dodger season preview. Oh boy, what hasn't been said already? The GDP of a small Caribbean island spent on players. I might add, spending that money over the next decade, not right away. I'm committed to paying Ohtani, stretched out over the next 10 or 12 years or whatever. It's obviously really exciting, but, Dodger fans know better than anyone that doesn't necessarily guarantee winning a championship. The 1, 2, 3 with bets for even Ohtani, it might be one of the best in baseball history, and, the front office has made so many of the right moves to shore up a pitching staff that's been, really banged up. Walker Buehler, 2021 LCS, having to pitch Game 6 in Atlanta on just a couple of days rest, and then having to go get Lance Lynn at the deadline last season, and him just falling apart all over the field against the Diamondbacks. The front office has done, has made the right moves and made the sensible moves in that department. So Walker Buehler, obviously, a Cy Young candidate before he got hurt, should be back in the mix this summer. Yamamoto signed from Japan, unproven. The Dodgers are putting a lot of faith in a guy, giving him a 12-year contract without pitching a game in the majors, but he's got so much potential upside. And then go out and get a guy like Tyler Glasnow, who's more than reliable. It's going to start the opening game in Seoul. On paper, it's a great team, and I have no doubt it's going to be a great team if you look at the Dodgers and their run of success, winning 90, 100 games every year, no matter what happens in the postseason. But that's another reason I'm also just cautioning Dodger fans. Don't get too excited yet. There's going to be a lot of baseball to play, and a lot of major pieces. I mentioned Walker Buehler. He's probably not going to be out till the summer. Kershaw is already on the 60-day. So those are significant pieces we're not going to have around for a while. You also got Yamamoto, and again, a lot of potential, but very unproven in the majors. Hasn't pitched a major league game yet. In the spring training debut didn't go great. And we all know the postseason could be a very different animal. It's an exciting time in Dodger Town, but I'll just use the word potential for now. Can this be one of the great teams maybe ever, and definitely in franchise history? They absolutely can, but it's not always that easy.
Well, thank you, Michael. Is Glass now really dependable? I mean, I guess if he pitches, he is, but I mean, he's made of glass.
Dependable, maybe not the word.
Yeah.
But very good is the word.
No, very good. That's fair.
Very good.
I'm just trying to find holes here because I don't want the Dodgers to be good.
There aren't a lot of them.
There's not. I mean,
There's not a lot
I
of
still think they're top heavy in the lineup,
Okay.
but not as like top heavy as say the Astros, where the team just falls off at the end. The Dodgers are consistent the whole way, especially adding Ohtani. Good Lord. So, I mean, I want to find problems with them, and I just can't.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that they have pitchers that won't come in till later, similar to the Rangers, except they've got two great pitchers. I mean, Yamamoto is not proven, but I mean, he proved himself at the World Baseball Classic, right? So it's not like he's not a complete unknown here.
No.
So I'm just trying to find holes, and I can't. This team's going to be good. I mean, you can't get around the fact that Dodgers are going to be real good.
This team's loaded. I mean, he said it, and it's not an exaggeration. Mookie, Freddie, Ohtani, however you want to set them up in the order. I think that's exactly how it's going to go. Mookie, Freddie, Ohtani is my assumption.
Yeah.
But good luck. Here you
Yeah.
go. Like, okay, woo, wipe the brow. We got Mookie out. Oh,
Yeah.
here comes
Here comes
Freddie.
Freddie.
Oh shit, here's Shohei.
Yeah.
And then again, you do your order thing, right? You break down the order. Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez. Is he a stud? No, but a very good baseball player,
the ball hard.
serviceable. Max Muncy, not an average guy, but he'll hit home runs.
Yep.
James Outman had a nice rookie season.
Yep.
And they're weird too. Like, they get the best out of their players.
Yeah.
They have a lot of platoons. Like, they Jesus Christ, rejuvenated, redeemed. I don't know the word. Jason Hayward's career.
Rejuvenated was the right word.
That was
Yeah,
the word.
yeah.
Like, Jason Hayward was dead in the water, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't even a serviceable baseball player at some point, just defensively, and now plays on the strong side of a platoon. You got him, you got Chris Taylor. They just bring back Kike Hernandez. I don't know why that was such a big deal, but apparently Gavin Lux forgot how to throw a baseball, so he might be playing some second base. Mookie's gonna play every position on the field. Like,
yeah, is he playing shortstop now?
I think he's the shortstop
That's
now.
so
because
weird.
Gavin
Okay.
Lux can't throw the ball across the
Oh,
infield.
that's right. Okay, it's so strange. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches, and talent and total money. So they've got everything they possibly need. Part of me feels like they still weren't done when it comes to getting talent, but I feel like they kind of have to be at this point. I don't think a Montgomery or a Blanken Snell. I don't think they'll get either of those guys.
They're done
And then now that Cease has been traded, okay, Cease won't go there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow land something else.
I mean, it's Glasnow, Yamamoto, Bobby Miller, and Bobby Miller is a very good player, had a good season last year. And then they're going to piece it together. They always do. And then Walker Buehler will make his way into the mix. And Kershaw, he'll do his, I'll show up in August and
Here I come.
and I'll be ready.
Yep.
And that's what they do. And in the meantime, they're not going to be an easy team to beat.
No.
So in terms of, jumping into a win total, they're at 103 and a
That's
half.
so high.
Yeah, and I'm over it.
I saw you took the over. There's no way. Like, winning 100 games is so tough. I can't ever, 103. You want me to believe they're going to win 104, 105, which they can. I'm not saying they can't, but I'm going to take the under on that. Can they get to 100? Yeah, of course they can. But they also have a division with a bunch of good teams, so we'll see. I have them finishing first. I think they run away with the division, even though their division's very good.
Oh,
I
they're
think
going to win by 15
yeah,
games.
which is so crazy to think about how good these other teams are, and the Dodgers are just ahead above all of them. So, transitioning in, because you've mentioned him twice, Bobby Miller is my breakout.
Okay.
Which he kind of already did, but I think he has to have a hell of a year because he's going to be filling that role. And I think that with that lineup behind him, it's going to be hard for him not to be successful. So there's going to be no pressure. Just get out there and pitch, kid. And I think he's going to have a really good season. So he's my breakout.
And I'm a proponent of, comfortability in the position, right? Give me the ball
pitching
every 5
too,
days.
man. Like if you go out there and you're on the mound and you're like, my team's only going to give me a run at best, it's just such a mind fuck. So being able to go out there and go, I got Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei batting next inning. I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just easier to do that mentally. You're right. Mm-hmm. So I took a guy, and again, I'm not tuned in that hard. I don't know if he's going to make the team. I think he should. Gavin Stone.
Okay.
He's one of their top prospects, has been for a little bit, was not good last year. Pitched 31 innings, had, according to Baseball Reference, had a negative 1.1 WAR. Again, we're talking bad.
Yeah, not great.
However, he's had a really good spring, and they need 4 and 5 starters. And I feel like I'm missing a guy when I say 4 starter. Like I think they have a 4th starter, but regardless, he's in contention for 5th. I think that he wins it. I hope that he does, and he just basically turns it around. Again, same idea, comfortability, right? He's in the role. He gets the pitch. He gets to stretch it out a little bit.
It's gonna be so easy to pitch, man. It's gonna be so easy to pitch there.
Here's it's written here again. Past Chris,
the Chris
is really
notes.
good.
The
at
Chris
this stuff.
notes.
Current
Let's go.
Chris is bad.
We need to reference that like your Bible or whatever. All right, go ahead.
James Paxton's there. Whether or not he makes the team, I don't know. So he's gonna eat these guys are just gonna share innings. It's gonna be weird. But the other thing I said is there's a chance, if the Dodgers are gonna be, a billion games up on everybody by the All-Star break,
which
they just ship Gavin Stone out if they don't have a spot for him, and then he ends up just flourishing somewhere else because he's gonna get his chance, right? So I think because they have so many guys, they're gonna be able to just be like, all right, see you later, and get some sort of legitimate player for him. Again, one of those 1-year guys, probably from the team that picks up rentals. But I think he's going to flourish for somebody. It would be cool if it was the Dodgers, because then that would mean they'll get 104 wins.
No, most definitely.
So I think that's the pick.
Yep. No, I don't hate it. I think we both took interesting props too. My prop is that Freddie gets to 350 home runs.
How many is that?
It's 20 something. I have to look that up. I think it's 29 actually.
Okay.
So I think I
he
think
hits
Freddie
29 and he gets a 350.
He gets a 350 career, and it's plus 175 to do that. I think they have to pitch to Freddie because you got Mookie and Shohei in front and behind him. So if he sees balls, he's going to hit them out of the ballpark. And I do think Freddie's always been a great contact hitter. So it's not going to be a hard thing for him to accomplish. So that's what I have.
Well, if he's a good contact hitter, that doesn't mean he's going to hit a home run. So
hey man, in this league, as fast as they're throwing those baseballs, you just got to put the barrel on it. It's going to go over.
Bat on ball. All right.
That's it.
So mine is it's a little crazy, but it's not, because we're talking about the best player to quite possibly ever play the game of baseball. And I went
still early for that, but okay.
Shohei Ohtani to have a 30-30 season, and they're giving me plus 800 odds for that.
Okay, so I like it. Obviously, stolen bases are a big deal. But what's his career best for SBs?
26.
Okay.
In 2021.
My thing is, I don't think he's going to have to steal bases in Los Angeles, where
no, but they should let him.
With the other Los Angeles, he had to. So I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting bet. Plus 800. I mean, that's tempting.
It's all about steals.
Yeah,
like,
steals.
I'm going to get tuned into.
He'll get the home runs.
I mean, he had 20 last year.
Yeah. All right. Well, I like it. You know that I like that. I like it.
So Dodgers are first. They take it down.
Easy. I mean, it has
convincingly.
It has to be the world's biggest. So okay, all right. Let's talk about this real quick. If the Dodgers do not win that division, is it the biggest disappointment we've ever seen in Major League Baseball?
I mean, it would be up there, yeah.
Name a bigger one.
But what would it take for that? Like, it wouldn't be. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. If everybody got hurt, like that's not like a ha-ha type of thing. Like,
no,
you know what I mean? That's
I'm not
like
saying because everyone gets hurt.
I'm saying if they just all underperform somehow.
Correct. Yeah.
Which just doesn't feel
okay.
like...
So Freddie finally falls off because he's getting
Sure.
older. If Mookie struggles playing shortstop
yes,
and he gets in
absolutely.
his head, Shohei's elbow hurts
But this
him.
could all, like, it's not far-fetched to be like they're 2 injuries away from this being a complete disaster.
I mean, that's fair, but I
Like,
never want to
if-
think
if-
of it from that
Correct,
perspective.
but
yeah.
they both play hand in hand. I know that's not what you were going
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like I wouldn't consider it like a monumental disaster if people got hurt. It would still be
Agreed.
one, because especially if it was a glass now, because you're like, well, that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
checks
But like
out.
hypothetically, if like something crazy happened to Yamamoto or one of your top 3 bats, you're like, oh well, they're now just a normal team. Do they still win that division? Probably.
Right. All right.
honestly.
Okay. So, and I don't disagree. Like, I want to find a reason for them not to win. Even with 2 injuries, even with 3 injuries, they still have the ability to win that freaking division. It's crazy. That's why I'm saying if they do not, is it the biggest disappointment we've ever seen in baseball? My answer would be yes.
Yes,
I
I
can't.
agree.
Like, I mean, the Mets have done this a couple times where they buy everyone and then they are a huge disappointment. But I don't think they've ever won the division by leaps and bounds and then got even better and then crashed. It's always been like, oh, this is the year.
Well,
doesn't happen.
Correct.
This is the
They
year.
just don't
Doesn't
say.
happen.
They just never get there.
Exactly. So, and I think there's some Yankee teams in there, some Red Sox teams in there that underperformed when they got old. But this, I mean, to me, this would be the biggest disappointment we'd ever seen, like based on expectations.
So is the season as a whole a disappointment if they don't win the World Series, or is it like just get there?
It's probably the Dodgers fans. But
well, yeah.
But I mean, let's face it. Like that's one of the hardest things to do in sports. is
Correct.
win the
It's
World
not.
Series.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No, I don't think that's true. I think winning the division is like hurdle number
That's
one.
No,
I mean,
that's
not
not.
hurdle.
It.
I'm sorry.
I think they have to get
getting to the. I'm so sorry. No, not winning the division. Winning the NL is
the pennant.
The pennant. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they can do that and get to the World
You're-
Series, I think that's
You're
exactly.
talking crazy there for a
Yeah.
minute.
Sorry. Yeah. Division, obviously.
Yeah, I get you.
I think it's a disappointment if they don't go to the World Series. I agree.
Yes,
Winning
okay.
it.
I could
don't
be
know.
convinced that they don't have to win it for it to be successful,
Mm-hmm.
but they can't lose. They have to. I don't know.
Oh, they can't lose the first round of the playoffs.
They can't lose
Yeah.
divisional series.
Yep. Mm-mm.
They should. I don't know. Okay. They have
Yeah,
to make
okay.
a World Series or else it's a disaster. You heard it first.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. And if they're a Dodgers fan, I would assume they would. If they don't win the World Series, it's a disaster. So.
Oh, I'd be crying my eyes
Yeah,
out.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, so much talent. Anyways, all right, next team. Let's move on. I'm tired of this.
That was your Los
Friggin'
Angeles
Dodgers.
Dodgers. All right, here we go.
Spin that wheel. Tick 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 tick.
It's a really long wheel.
Yeah, we gotta shorten that somehow.
The Rockies.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, surprise, surprise. We don't have Rockies either. And let me tell you, we tried. My brother used to live in Denver. There's 2 people that we have sisters that are in Denver. No one knew anyone, and it was a very frustrating thing. And I think it's because the Rockies just haven't been relevant for a long time.
Even if we got one, it still probably would have been short and sweet. So let's try to make this one short and sweet.
Yeah, definitely, we
So
can do that.
these-
Hey, where do you have them finishing?
They're dead last.
Dead last? Easy.
So they're 5th. Their over-under win total 60.5. What do you got them at?
So I can't go under 60. I know that there's a chance they don't win 60.
They're going to lose 100 games.
I mean, I don't know. I'm over
They're not
60 and a
good.
half.
Okay.
I think they win 63. I mean, it's too close. I probably should have gone under, but
I'm under.
I went over.
Under, they're not a good team.
No, they're not. They're not a
Nolan
good team.
Jones. Okay, good player. Right.
Sweet.
He had a good year.
Yep.
Ezekiel Tovar, decent shortstop.
I think he'll be very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan McMahon, okay, just your run-of-the-mill player.
Yep.
I said he loves Colorado, right? He probably puts up big numbers there. In case you forgot, Chris Bryant is still with the Colorado Rockies.
He's gonna have a better season this year.
Me and probably all 145 Rockies fans are probably over Brendan Rodgers at this point. He was supposed to be like the second coming of Tulo when he was
Right.
coming up, and that just never happened. Charlie Blackmon is still employed by the Colorado Rockies.
He is.
Not a coach either. He still plays.
Yeah, he actually plays. He was on my fantasy team a couple years, like last year. I was like, all right, Blackman.
Last year?
Yeah, I was like, this is not going well.
I thought you were going to say like 3 years ago. That would have been okay.
No,
Uh,
last year.
I heard the name, again, a note, heard the name Brenton Doyle. I don't know much about him.
Cool.
Like, just, okay.
Some names.
Like they don't really have a ton of prospects.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like he actually is my breakout player because I don't have anybody else to pick because I feel like Tovar kind of broke out a little bit. I said why is Zach Veen not on this team? Like Zach Veen's one of their best prospects. Is he the best player in the world? No, but he should be on the team.
Yeah.
Right. They're not good enough to just be holding people down. He was a top 100 guy, not a huge power threat, but Coors is huge. You know, he can open it up a little bit, hit a gap, get to running. That's all good there.
Yeah. I mean, I have Tovar as my breakout.
Okay.
And I understand. It's just I couldn't see it. I mean, Veen is okay, I guess. It was a good choice. They're both in like the top 30 prospects or whatever. I feel like Tovar.
The Rockies top 30, not
No. Like if you go to MLB.com,
Zach Veen is not there. Yeah, Zach Veen's not a top 100 prospect anymore. You're looking at last year's list.
I mean,
he used to be. He's the 6th best prospect on the team. I'm not going to let you go on this.
Okay, that's fine.
Not
Whatever
that you
say.
should be. But again, you're not in tune with the Rockies, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Most of America isn't. But that's why I picked him to breakout. I think he could return to that. You know, that potential be okay.
Fair enough.
They're not a good team.
No.
Like even pitching, you're like, okay, I want to like Kyle Freeland, but like then how do you pitch there? You get beat up. Like you said, like, oh, they don't hit home runs, but every other team that shows up there, the
Definitely
over-under
does,
is still
yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Like Dodgers are going to show up there and hit and score 15 every game.
Yeah.
They're going to beat the shit out of this
Good
team.
Lord.
Cal Quantrill's on their team. Like I did say poor Kyle Freeland. It would be nice to see him pitch elsewhere. Like I don't know, because he did pitch the World Baseball Classic for us. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some stuff in him, but he's never going to break off. You know, I think he did it once, but he's not really going to break a 4 ERA there.
Yeah.
Sad news out of there, just not super sad, but Daniel Bard, Greenville native, got hurt.
Yep.
I think he's done for the year.
Yeah.
So he was their closer. So a little bright spot that we had to follow the Rockies for. I don't think we're going to get much of him.
No reason to now.
I got nothing else. Oh, sorry. Over-unders. Chris Bryant under 19.5 home
I have
runs.
him over.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
He'll hit 23.
It's going to be based on games played.
No, I completely agree. Like if he plays long enough, he'll
Yeah.
get over 19.
I'm just
home
gonna-
runs. That's fine. I mean, yeah. I can't believe you took an under. You hate unders. So.
Agreed, and that's how bad I think this team is. And that's talking Rockies. Sorry if it felt rushed or anything
Ho-hum.
like that, but that's what you're getting on the Rockies.
Yep. All right,
here we go.
moving on. What we got? Two good teams.
Yeah, we got 2 good ones left. I'm excited about these ones.
Bum-ba-da-da.
We've got the Arizona Diamondbacks.
All right, Arizona Diamondbacks.
This is Aaron Hughes from Good Morning Ball.
Hey listeners, my name's Aaron Hughes, and I cover the Arizona Diamondbacks for Good Morning Baseball. Today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Snakes, and I'll even throw in a little known story about the team. Let's get into it. Coming off a World Series run, Mike Hazen and the front office were not complacent. They went out and got Eduardo Rodriguez, re-signed Lourdes Gurriel Jr., got Jock Peterson and Randall Grichuk to platoon at DH, traded for Eugenio Suarez, and made a small move to get Cristian Mena from the White Sox. Most of the pieces from that World Series run are going to be returning, but the lineup looks even better. Corbin Carroll, Ketel Marte, and Gabriel Moreno lead it off and add a serious on-base threat at the top. Christian Walker, Jock Peterson, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and Eugenio Suarez add that pop all the way through the 7 spot. Alec Thomas and Geraldo Perdomo round it back up to the top, but they add a little bit of spice to the lineup. Now, Corbin Carroll and Gabby Moreno are the stars of the team, and that's what's going to pack Chase Field. Corbin Carroll is coming off of one of the most historic Rookie of the Year seasons that we've seen. He hit 25 home runs, stole a ton of bases, and finished 5th in MVP voting. He took home the hardware, but Gabby Moreno got himself a gold glove, led the league in caught stealing percentage, and cemented himself as one of, if not the best defensive catchers in all of baseball. Another young player that I'm really excited to tell you about is Brandon Pfaadt. Fott debuted last season and had a rough start. He was one of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball, but struggled early. During the All-Star break, he got a phone call from Brent Strom, the pitching coach. This ended up changing his career. After a conversation with Strom, Fott changed sides of the rubber that he pitched from. This helped him hide his pitches more and created more deception. This was huge for the team since Brandon Fott ended up being the pitcher to punch their ticket to the World Series. I think the Diamondbacks will end up finishing at least second in the division. However, I think that there's a real world where the division is a lot closer than it may seem at the top between the D-backs and the Dodgers. I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say about the Diamondbacks going into this year, and I think they'll be a lot of fun to watch. That's all from me. Let's go D-backs. Peace out.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much. So that's pretty much the consensus, I feel, on the Diamondbacks, right?
Here's the deal. If there is a team that can challenge the Dodgers, it is the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it in past episodes. The Diamondbacks are going for it. Like they've added pieces. I think that they are legitimately could make it not as easy for the Dodgers as we kind of talked about just a few minutes ago, right? So, there is a real world shot, but still feels like it's
second place gets in the playoffs. They still got to go and win games.
Completely agree.
Right. So
do we both have them second, by the
Yes.
way? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, actually, let me check. Yes, I do have.
Okay.
them
I'll
second.
say okay.
I do have them second over 83.5 wins.
Yeah,
How
I'm
many
over
I
too.
think they
Yeah.
get. I have no idea, but I think 83.5 feels low.
It's super low. I feel like they could probably win close to 90 games.
They had 84 last year, and they got better.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely agree. I think they can get close to 90. I don't think they have
Like
to.
this is as much as I ripped on the Royals and said under is my favorite bet there.
Yeah.
My favorite over bet is this one.
No,
Like,
I don't
will
disagree.
be.
Yeah,
This will be probably my biggest bet of the over unders.
Okay, that's fair. No, and I don't disagree. I think that I saw 83.5 was like, that feels low because the team got better. I mean, I understand that the Dodgers are so good and they have to play them a lot. And
I'm not saying that they're winning
The
the division. They
Padres
just
and
got to
the-
go win a couple games.
yeah, and I mean, the Padres and Giants are both very good too. So, I mean, it's a tough division. It's a very tough division. So I
agree.
understand,
I still
but
don't
83.5 still too low. Still too low.
He broke it down nicely, right? They retained Gurriel. Is he a star? No, but he's pretty similar, maybe a little less than like a Teoscar Hernandez from the Dodgers. And I'm not going to do this where I just compare everything to the Dodgers, but they brought in Eugenio Suarez from Seattle, Jock Peterson, you know him, you love him, Eduardo Rodriguez, huge piece for
Yes.
the rotation.
Yep.
And they brought everybody else's back. You got Carroll. I said Moreno. Christian Walker silently hits 33 to 30 or 30 to 35 home runs.
I don't know if it's that silent, but yeah, I know what you're
Oh
talking
no,
about.
he's a big boy. Plays a great first base as
He
well.
is, yeah, he is.
Ketel Marte. I wrote him down anyway, but they did sign Randall Grichuk. He'll probably be a platoon type guy.
Yeah, that's a
And
backup.
so the lineup's there. They've got bats.
Yeah.
and then their rotation is pretty
Solid?
It's easily 3 deep. Right, you have Gallen, you have Merrill Kelly, you have Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My next statement, not based on him, but to credit to him, is: do they get regular season or playoff Brandon Pfaadt?
Yeah.
And
And if Fott takes that leap, then that team is scary. I mean,
they're 4 deep.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that tidbit was awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
he just got so he does pretty good work. He writes a few articles on the D-backs as well. So I really do like what Aaron
changing
does.
the side of
The rubber, and then
the
just
rubbers,
becoming
that's so
like
great,
he's
yeah.
starting playoff games and pitched well.
Pitched
I don't
very
have
well.
his stats in front of me for the playoffs, but he did very, very well compared to whatever the hell he was doing. In the
yeah.
regular
And
season.
Lawler is a pitcher, right?
No.
No, Lawler's not a pitcher.
Jesus
Okay, I was thinking they had one more prospect, but maybe I'm reading off of 2023
Jordan,
again.
you are, dude.
Probably, yeah.
Jordan Lawler is a prospect. He's a shortstop.
Okay.
We'll say middle infielder. He is actually my breakout player.
Oh, is he? Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So I believe they had already sent him down to minor league camp.
Yeah.
And it's more, I would assume it's just to get him some at bats,
Yeah.
keep him fresh.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to start Pedromo at short. They really like him. He's a very good defender. Everything that I've seen says that Lawler's going to be up sooner rather than later and start competing for time right away.
Mm-hmm.
He got some Sometime at the end of last year, had about 31 ABs, did not really perform very well.
Yeah.
And again, it's weird, like we keep saying breakout, and you're like, oh, I'm just picking their best offensive prospect, and yes, I am, but it's because he did struggle, and it's okay. Take a beat, go hang. I didn't want him to start in AAA, but he's got to, and he comes up, and he could be a real piece for this team and do something for them.
Yeah.
It does stink that they sent him down. He might not even play till August. Who the hell knows?
Right.
But
hey, I mean, if he comes in August and gets him to the World Series, that's a breakout. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm picking someone who played last year basically as a breakout last year, not at Corbin Carroll level, but Alec Thompson. I think that, or Thomas, I'm sorry, Alec Thomas. If he can take that next step, where's the weak link in this lineup?
there isn't.
There isn't one, right?
Like, well,
I mean, he's a
Perdomo and
23-year-old like center fielder. He's a lefty in your lineup. I can't. If he can make that next step, I mean, this team is scary good. So that's kind of where I think that's more of me wanting. Obviously, Lawler and Fat are honorable mentions, and we've talked about them a bunch. But I think Thomas is, if he can do that, it's going to be something impressive.
So I'm not going to miss my opportunity on this one to shout him out. But Jake McCarthy's on this team, and he's a Scranton native.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's cool.
So yes, while Alec Thomas is good, I'd be lying to say I hope Jake McCarthy plays over him. That's not how I'm reading it right now. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But Jake McCarthy still has the ability to be a good player. He's only 26 years old.
Yeah.
He could still provide for this team, or if there's a roster crunch, he could end up somewhere else.
Awesome.
So I do have to shout him out, Scranton native. But again, like you said, there aren't a ton of weak spots on this team. They got better than they were last year.
Got better.
I think it's weird, right? They went to the World Series, and now you're on top of the world. Unexpectedly, they went to the World Series. Now you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
And you're like, we could do it, and we got better. I think expectations need to be hampered a tad, like just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think they're gonna face reality pretty quickly in this division, I think, but there's no reason they shouldn't have playoff aspirations.
No, they're good.
Even deep run playoff aspirations.
Wait, to your point, what you said before in terms of playoffs, kind of a crapshoot of what happens. Mm-hmm. We just named their 3 or 4 starters in a playoff series.
Killer. Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
Not like, so. Even if they went into fought and like they're in a good spot, because like there were teams starting relievers in like game 4 of playoff series and stuff. Like this team's got 4 legit, again, assuming Fott pans out to what he was doing, 4 legitimate starters. You take that into a playoff series, you've got a shot to do some damage, especially if that lineup breaks.
Completely agree.
Corbin Carroll, I hope his shoulder is okay, though. I think it was his shoulder kind of banged up. That's concerning.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Speaking of Carroll, he's my player prop.
4?
Just guess.
How many?
43 and a half stolen bases. I have the over.
What did he have? Didn't he have a shit ton last year?
A shit ton last year. I think he had in the 60s last year.
So why?
I don't know. I
he
felt
had
like
54.
54. Oh, okay. So my bad.
So what
Still, that's 10 over than what they have now. There's no way he gets. He regresses that much, I don't think. So, that team loved what he did. Why would you stop him from playing the way he plays? So, I think that's an easy over for me.
Let's hope that shoulder's okay.
Well, that's fine.
I went over on Merrill Kelly, 168 and a half strikeouts. I can't say I am in love with it. Okay. I stayed away from Carroll because of the shoulder.
Right.
I cannot say that I'm in absolute love with it. However, the last 2 seasons, he had 187 Ks last year and 177 the year before.
Oh, weird.
And that's with declining. Like, he threw 23 less innings last year than he did in 22.
And his Ks are going up. Okay. Yeah. So that feels like a pretty easy win.
Yeah, we're going to hope so. Fingers crossed.
All right, let's go. Cool. I like them. All right. So last team, it is the Padres. You don't have to.
The new look Padres. So to be clear, this submission was sent in before they got Dylan Cease. I didn't reach out to ask him if he wanted to do another one, but
right.
His it's all good.
It's hard not to be excited about it. All right, so who do we have submitting for the Padres today?
We have Ben. His @ is Talking Friars, so it's all Padres baseball that he talks about there.
Love it. Let's listen in.
All right, 2024 Padres season preview. I'm Ben Fadden at Talking Friars on social media and on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening here, and thank you for allowing me to do this preview. Obviously, last year for the Padres, it was a disappointing season, a failure of a season, and they are motivated as ever to bounce back and not be embarrassed again. And they lost their chairman, Peter Seidler, last year, and that was a huge gut punch, and I think that has put some things into perspective for this Padres team. Probably a reality check. Like, man, he gave us all this money. He wanted to win so badly, and we kind of just threw it out the window last year. So this year, let's bounce back. Let's have urgency, which we didn't have enough of last year. And yeah, we're going to be the underdogs, but guess what? We were the underdogs in 2022, and look how that worked out. We went on a long run. The Dodgers, they're probably going to win the NL West. That's not what the Padres should be trying to do right now. Their focus should be on winning the day, winning every day. And I know that sounds cheesy, but that's really what their focus needs to be. Again, urgency is going to be a big word for this Padres team in 2024. New manager with Mike Schilt. I think that relationship with A.J. Preller is going to be super, super key. Preller has had his relationships dissolve with managers in the past. So we'll see if this one can end up not dissolving and breaking up and end up turning out horribly. And hopefully it turns out really well, and the Padres can go, make another deep run, make it to the World Series, and then go win the World Series. Diamondbacks last year, they didn't think they were going to be in the World Series, and look what happened. I don't know if the Rangers thought they were going to go win the World Series after the injuries that happened there. So baseball, it's there's a reason why it's not played on paper and why it is played on the field. And so I think the Padres, they can surprise some people if the right things go right. They still have star power. Manny Machado, bounce back year hopefully coming. Fernando Tatis Jr., we know how great of a player he is. Xander Bogaerts, when he was healthy last year, I think people got to remember he was good at the plate, and he'll move over to second base. Ha-Seong Kim, he keeps getting better. He's obviously going to be at shortstop, continues to get better. Walk year, I think he's motivated to win. He always is motivated to win. Jake Cronenworth, he's not going to be as bad as he was this past year. He's gained some weight. I think 10 pounds of muscle. He's more comfortable at first base, and he's made some swing adjustments as well, or preparation adjustments before the pitch comes with his load and his hand placement and all that, so look out for that. Luis Camposano, he will continue to get reps, obviously, at the big league level as the starting catcher, and so I'm confident that he's going to have a strong offensive season when he is healthy, and hopefully he can be healthy for the majority of the year. And then pitching-wise, the bullpen, it looks pretty good. I know they lost Josh Hader, but it looks like it's in a pretty good spot. There's a lot of guys that have closing experience. There's nasty, underrated guys like Tom Cosgrove, so watch out for him to continue building. And then rotation, there's question marks, but there's also guys that are hungry. Musgrove and Darvish, they're hungry to bounce back this year and be healthy. Michael King, prove, kind of like Seth Lugo last year, that he can be a full-time starting pitcher, and he's not just a reliever. He has only a couple more years left before he hits free agency, so he's definitely motivated, I would say. And then the back end, it's young talent. Johnny Brito, Randy Vasquez. We'll see where Randy Vasquez is. Matt Waldron, knuckleball pitcher, but he's not like R.A. Dickey where he throws it all the time. So it's interesting. I think that they could use some more depth. If they don't get more depth pitching-wise, then they're hopefully going to be healthy in the first half of the year, and then they're going to have to wait for someone like Yair Iriarte, who showed some pretty good stuff in spring training, Adam Mazer, to come up and make some starts, maybe Drew Thorpe at some point later in 2024. But yeah, the area of weakness, I would really think about left field and just the outfield depth in general, and then starting pitching depth I would look at as well. But this bullpen, if they get a lead, then the Padres can be shutting down a lot of games. So I think this team could be a playoff team. I know I was only supposed to go 1 or 2 minutes, but I could talk about this team all day.
Awesome. San Diego Padres.
Let's
the
win
fathers.
the day. That's going to be the motto. Win
Let's
the day.
I don't dislike that at all.
I want it on record that I too gained 10 pounds of muscle this offseason.
And he talked a lot about their pitching towards the end of that, and now they have Cease. So a lot of that, and I think they traded away the two guys he said that they would call up.
For those that have been under a rock, the last couple of days of baseball, social media going crazy. The Padres traded Jairo Iriarte, Drew Thorpe, I forget his first name, but Zavala, and one other reliever, Steven Wilson, to the Chicago White Sox in return for Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
So we were talking about all this rotation depth and what are they going to do, and now enter, Cy Young vote getter, not last year because he struggled, but a top arm.
Yep.
A guy that you wanted, and you'd be lying to say that you didn't, to be on the Braves, but a very good deal for them.
1,000% wanted him. Yeah, so it sucks he's not. But, it was necessary for the Padres to be competitive, to get a starter, a stud. And so they have it, and that's good. I think that they can definitely make noise. You said it during, during his little spiel, but this team is top heavy.
Very, very much so. Not a lot of depth.
Yeah, obviously Tatis is electric. Machado can be good. Bogarts can be very good. So those are all very great players, but they now lose Soto. They only have 2 outfielders on the roster right now, so it's kind of they've got to. I feel like they're missing too many pieces to really. For me to be convinced, but Cease is a good step towards that direction.
They're top heavy again, especially the lineup, right? You have those 3. Kim is a good player, utility guy,
consistent.
I get the optimism for him, but I cannot get behind Jake Cronenworth right now. I don't trust whatever the hell he's doing. They did re-sign Profar again. He's your run-of-the-mill major leaguer. However, I think he just got hurt.
I think so, yeah.
So
I don't know if it's bad, but I think I saw his name.
He banged up at least.
Yeah.
So again, they're going to be tested. Now, I'm going to jump the gun here a little bit.
Okay.
And go to a breakout player because he's going to answer a lot of the outfield questions right now.
Okay.
And that is top prospect Jackson Merrill.
Okay.
He made the team. He's traveling with them to Seoul.
Nice.
So when I wrote this, that wasn't in. That wasn't certain, so I said, "What's his role? Got to make the team, right?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, what are they doing with them? So my understanding is he's going to play some center field for them. He came up as an infielder, but they're set there, Bogarts and Kim.
Right.
So he's going to play some outfield, I believe, center field. Whether or not he starts another story, I don't see how they don't start him, but he might be able to jumpstart this team a little bit.
Yeah. So and just staying with breakout, I picked Jose Azocar because. Again, he's one of the same reason. There's only 2 outfielders, and he was one of them. So he has to step up. If he doesn't step up, this Padres team is going to be in a world of hurt. So I think we both were thinking the same thing. So
rotation is another question mark. Even if Cease gives you what Snell did, right? They lost the Cy Young.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Cease equals Snell. Let's
so they just
assume that
equal out.
You need improvement out of Darvish. You need improvement out of Musgrove. Like, you still need these guys to perform. He had mentioned Randy Vasquez. He should be able to step in to keep stressing this team's top heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that lends itself to having a great regular season team. That makes it.
But it makes you scary in the playoffs.
Correct.
Sure.
That's all you need.
You
need those top 3 or 4 guys.
Yep.
And some guys to produce.
You need them to get hot at the right time.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, their bullpen. He had mentioned he went a little more in depth than we ever will.
And you love a bullpen.
I do. Bullpen should be fine. They lost Hader, but they'll end up being okay. I don't. Where did you ended up having them? Where 4th?
Yeah, I have them 4th, and to be quite honest with you, I don't think Cease changes that for me.
Cease changed mine. That once I saw that,
yeah,
I didn't get in here.
I still, especially after listening and talking through it, I just don't think they have enough because there's just too many question marks. I think I have the over on 81.5.
Same.
But I still have them finishing 4th. Again, they're one of those teams, they could be better than most of the Central and still not make the playoffs.
We're staying true to what we were saying, right? Over 81.5 for me too. I have them 3rd. So really, for me, I have Dodgers. Not that matters. They're at 103, 83.5 for D-backs, 81.5 Padres, 81.5 Giants, and it's like all of those can finish at 86. If anybody has 86 to 90 wins, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, I completely agree.
None of that would surprise me.
Completely agree.
So I think it does get very tight there, and I think that's going to be the fun thing to watch in this division when it comes time, playoffs, wild cards, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think those division games are going to get wild and nasty. I think they're going to be because a lot of those teams hate each other, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them battle.
So just kind of thinking out loud, they might get like 3 playoff teams.
They could, yeah, possibly, yeah. It's definitely a possibility,
right?
Yeah. Math is hard. Yeah, they could get 3.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they can make it work.
100%. I don't think it happens, but I mean they could.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Yeah. So
who's your prop?
My prop is I went for a 30-30. I feel like it was a pretty easy 30-30 with Tatis. He's going to steal 30 bases, and he's going to mash 30-plus home runs. It's only at plus 200, so it's not even a hard one. But he's an electric player. I've already said that. I think it's going to be fun to watch him, and he has to play really well for this team to be good. So I think that was an easy 30-30 for me. What about you?
I have picked. I have to look here. So I didn't trust Tatis home runs. I didn't trust what did I put? I didn't trust like Musgrove strikeouts. So I went.
You didn't go Yu Darvish wins or something like that?
No, I didn't even look for. I might have looked for him. I don't think he was there. I went Manny Machado over 30.5 home runs.
Okay.
And it's going. If it hit, I don't love it at all. Probably one of my. Honestly, there's not a lot I do like here. I do love the Ohtani one because that's just fun.
That's fun, yeah.
But the Machado thing, like, if it hits, it's going to be like the last week of the season. His, like, 106.
That's going to come down to the wire.
His 162 game average for home runs is 32.
And you picked over?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go.
I respect that, Chris. I respect that. So, all right, so that's the NL West. How do you feel? Feel good? I think we nailed it.
I think we got it pretty down pat. I mean, I nailed it. You had something screwed up there.
Hey,
but
you know what? Look, who cares? We appreciate everyone for listening. This is episode 1 of the 3 for the National League. Can't wait for you to listen to the rest of them. And please like us, review us on all the platforms that you use for your podcast. Come say hey on X and on Instagram. We love doing this, and the more we can interact, the better. So my name is Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And we are the Coach's Sons Podcast.